Megatron, leader of the Decepticons, is your quintessential bad guy. But when he's on my team, he's quite good. Really good. One of the best cards in Transformers Tactical Arena. Yet, I didn't always feel that way. When I first unlocked Megatron, I didn't realize the full destructive power. So, let's start there, right at the beginning. How do you unlock Megatron? You'll need to reach the 4th arena, which is the Arctic Outpost. From there, you'll need to open crates until you get lucky. But basically, as soon after reaching a rank of 1500, Megatron should be available. But before that, I had the nuke. At level 8, it does over 1400 damage to a large area. And then there's the burn damage. Why would I want to wait for Megatron to slowly creep towards the opposing side? Well, then I had an epiphany. It totally changed the way I played the game. While the neutron bomb does hit hard, Megatron actually hits harder. Since he's a legendary card, you simply need to flip the card over to use tank mode. The nuke does less than a third of its damage against the main turrets. Megatron has no such penalty. But it gets even better. Megatron gets to reload and then do it again. Each hit against a main turret is like 2 nukes. It's so much damage. Yet, it's not so easy to make this happen. That's why it's important to remember who is Megatron. He's a leader. That means he needs an army. That's the trick with Megatron. At 7 Energon, to use the tank form, he's expensive. So it's challenging to give Megatron the support he needs. In particular, he needs anti-air support. As a tank, Megatron is totally vulnerable to attacks from air-based characters. In particular, Drone Swarm will quickly destroy Megatron. That's where quick thinking becomes part of the game. If your opponent is trying to counter Megatron with Drone Swarm, or surround him with Minion Horde, you can easily counter that counter with Sunstreaker. As Megatron rolls along, be prepared for the enemy to swarm the tank. That's why I like to pair Sunstreaker with Megatron. The Sunstreaker is great for crowd control, while Megatron can kill many enemies in a single shot. Other ways to protect Megatron is with Moonracer or Rotor Storm. They're both great for taking out crowds of smaller enemies. Plus, they can stay out of range of Grimlock. He's a good counter to Megatron, which is why I prefer to fight Grimlock on my side of the battlefield. With the speed boost of the Disco Ball, Megatron can quickly defeat Grimlock. Not only is Megatron great for offense, he can do a huge amount of damage on defense. But if energy is tight, or if the enemy has lots of air-based cards, Megatron in robot form is quite formidable. In this mode, Megatron can attack both ground and air targets. This is great for smacking around characters like Brawl, as Megatron has a backhand attack. This pushes the enemy away, while Megatron can shoot at them from afar. The downside here is that Megatron is a 5 Energon card in robot form. He's expected to win one-on-one battles against the 4 Energon helicopters. He's expected to demolish RC, which is a 3 Energon card. That's the problem with Megatron in robot form. He is brute force. He usually doesn't win any one-on-one battles without losing a lot of health. So, why play Megatron in robot form? Normally, I don't. But here's a great scenario where it makes sense. If one turret is down, and now the focus is on the other secondary turret, Megatron can quickly attack that turret, like he was Starscream or Drop Squad. The artificial intelligence is aware of the danger and quickly tries to prevent that. Look at how fast it planted that fusion beam turret. in either mode, the fusion beam turret is a strong way to stop Megatron. But when there's not enough time to react, and there is a very small time to react, Megatron can lock right onto that turret. The trick is to put him on this square. That will keep him out of the crossfire. In other words, out of range of the main turret. This is where you can do the math. You could also put Megatron in tank form on that square. But it takes him so long to charge up. He could be killed before he even gets one shot off. He could also be distracted with something as simple as the decoy. Yet, Megatron in robot form does about half the damage as Megatron in tank form. And as a robot, that's only against a single enemy. That's why it's called Transformers Tactical Arena. You're in the battle. You have to make an immediate decision. The strategy is saying, let's put Megatron on the team. Tactics is saying, let's go with Megatron in robot form to smack Brawl in the face. But in general, I'd rather just shoot Brawl with the tank. While Brawl can survive one shot, barely, he won't be able to land a punch if someone else is covering Megatron. That means a dead Brawl, just like the cartoon movie. Such heroic nonsense. If you're fighting against Megatron, watch the purple colors at the end of the cannon. If they stop swirling, that means Megatron is ready to fire. This is when you can hit Megatron with stun to reset the counter. That's why characters like Shockwave or Jazz are strong counters to Megatron. They can stun lock Megatron. He won't be able to charge up fast enough to land a shot. Again, that's why it's super important to protect Megatron. While he can do a lot of damage, and he does have a lot of health, he usually dies quickly when he lacks support. That's why you might be thinking of using Ratchet or Healing Pulse. With the former, I find it difficult to keep Ratchet at the right distance. He either walks too far ahead, or he stands too close to Megatron and gets hit with area damage. Healing Pulse might be effective, especially if there are other wounded characters next to Megatron. With just 3 Energon, you can recover more than half of Megatron's health. But overall, it is nice to see Megatron on the same side as Optimus Prime. It's too bad Prime couldn't talk some sense into Megatron. The space is a really big place, filled with lots of energy. What's the point of ruling the universe if you don't have friends? That's when you realize it's just a game for entertainment. So hopefully you're having fun, and hopefully this video was informative and entertaining to you. Thanks for watching.